The king is back.
YouTube, this is Open Mat MMA. Today we're going over PFL 3 fight predictions and some betting odds. To start out the card, we got Magomed Yamato versus Dilano Taylor. I chose Magomed Yamato. Some reason I chose him, he got some really good knockout power. He finished all but one of his fights. 2 knockouts in PFL. He can finish, like he's a very relentless finisher. So I think that'll give him a nod. Dilano Taylor, he's a plus 300 underdog, and Magomed is a minus 400 favorite. Dilano Taylor got knockout power as well. He's coming off a loss in his last fight. He had to use his length best he can, 6'3", which is tall for the 170-pound division. Magomed is 6'1", so it's not too big of a difference. But he got to use all those little things when you're a big underdog. You got to use all those little things, and to make it a competitive fight. Next, we got Carlos Leal and David Zawada. Carlos Leal, he got some really good calf kicks. I think he got a home in on those calf kicks. Carlos Leal is the minus 250 favorite. So home in on those calf kicks, I think he can land them. So especially if you find a taller guy, his leg might be out. That's gonna be the first line of defense, getting past that jab and that leg. So knock that calf kick down. I think he'll be good. He got to mix up his punches and kicks. He did a pretty good job of doing that. He lost his last fight, but other than that, he's been on a tear. Been doing really good in the PFL. David Zawada, he's fighting out of Germany. I think this is his first fight in the PFL. So he kind of lunges when he strikes. I think he needs to check that. He does have he is a UFC vet. He can wrestle. He do got some subs from the bottom. He tapped out. Abukar Magomedov, which is Khabib's cousin. So he could tap out some good wrestlers. But I think those two, that's what you need to look. That's how both of them win. I think Carlos Leal would take it. So next fight we got in the card, we got Denis, Goltsov, and Patrick Brady. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I forgot to write down notes for this fight, but I did look at the fight. It looked like to me it was a bad matchup for Patrick Brady. He's a plus 450 underdog. Denis is a minus 625 favorite. So when you see those odds, does not look good for Patrick Brady. He's also 39. 7-year gap, 6 foot versus 6'5", Denis 6'5". I chose Denis. I didn't write it down, so I apologize for that. Next we got Clay Collar and Yamato Nishikawa. So look, I got Clay Collar winning. I think it'll be a competitive fight. I think Clay Collar, he's the guy's very active. He fights and boxing and MMA, he's never stagnant. He's always doing something. And I think that's good for him. When you got really good boxing, you come over to MMA, you could be deadly. Then his opponent is young. His opponent is 20. They're 10-year difference. But his opponent got over 25 fights, even though he's young. He's 21, 3-6. So he has 6 draws. That is crazy. So he got to use his boxing. He legit. He can mix it up, clinch him against the cage. Like I said, he's fighting a young guy. He had some very tough fights. I did watch some of his fights. Yamato watched some of his fights. He got a lot of mileage for his age. That concerns me, especially getting into PFL, because PFL is considered one of the big leagues. That concerns me. So, hey, this is a fight that we all got to watch out for. I did not pick a winner yet. I'm going to pick a winner by the time I break this down. Shane Burgos and Olivier Aubin-Mercier. If I pronounce it wrong, my apologies. He's Canadian, so I know he's nice. He trained at TriStar with Faraz Sahabi. I love Faraz Sahabi. So Olivier, he's undefeated in the PFL, which is crazy. He did pretty decent in the UFC, went to the PFL, was very successful. He can wrestle. That's a big thing in his fight. I think he got in order to beat Shane Burgos, he has to put Shane Burgos on his back foot, because being toe to toe with Shane Burgos is dangerous. Like Shane Burgos lost to some very tough people in the UFC, like Barbosa. Come off the top of my head. I think Shane Burgos can't be passive. He got to put the pressure on him. I think that will lead him to. That's one of his keys to victory. And like I said, you got to bring the fight to him. Shane Burgos got the reach advantage, a little taller. He is a 45er. Oliver is a 55er, so lightweight. Honestly, this is like one of those ones. Look, if you want to bet the underdog, this is the fight to do. Shane Burgos is really good. I think Oliver can win. I think it's, like I said, I didn't choose a prediction. I really don't want to choose, but if I had to choose, I'm going Shane Burgos. He comes from the UFC. I think he could break the curse of UFC fighters coming to Bellator and losing. I wouldn't be mad if you picked Oliver, but I would stay away from that fight. Betting wise, if you do bet, I would just do an outright. I do a money line outright bet just on that fight, just to go for the underdog. But I wouldn't put that in your parlays, man. That's a tough fight. Hey, next we got Zach Juusola and Brandon Jenkins. Hey, I got Brandon Jenkins winning. He's a minus 125 favorite. Zach Juusola is a minus 105 favorite. They're just about even. Body size even. Look like close in age. I chose Brandon Jenkins because I was just watching him fight. Zach is a vet. He been in the game a while, 13-9. But I seen Brandon Jenkins. His nickname is a human highlight reel. He actually had a switch knee in PFL a couple years ago, and I loved it. So since then, I watched some of his other fights. I do think he could nod it out. I wouldn't like the odds in that fight. It's basically even. I wouldn't really mess around with that too much, but hey. Next we got Amir and we got Bruno Miranda. Look, Bruno Miranda, he has some power in his hands. He finished his last 4 out of 5 opponents. He trains in Thailand at Tiger Muay Thai, which is one of the biggest gyms. Amir, this is like his first fight in the big leagues, which kind of worries me, honestly. He got good striking. Amir, he has good top control. He got really good cage pressure. The thing concerned me, though, he lost to a guy 5 fights ago. He lost to a guy who was 3-0. It was 4 years ago, granted, but he is in the big leagues, and he lost to a guy that was 3-0. And then he went split decision draw to a guy that's 4-1. So it kind of worries me because he's 32. He's a little older, and he's fighting a guy who, showed that they could knock out the best professional fighter, like the big league professional fighters. He showed that he could do it. So that kind of concerns me. Bruno, he's on a 5-fight win streak, good striking. He's very active. He got some really good low kicks, and he's really tough. I think Bruno can take it. He's a minus 165 favorite, and Ahmed is a plus 135 underdog. He's just a slight underdog. It's not much. But I think Bruno takes that. Next, we got Shane Mitchell and Nayib Lopez. Man, Shane Mitchell, it was hard for me to find his fights. I'm not gonna lie. His last fight was he fought David Butt with a year and 4 months ago, and it was like a regional scene. It was hard for me to find his fights. What I did gather from him is he was a little passive when I seen him in the film. I didn't see too much film, but he was a little passive. But he got 13-4 record fighting out of Australia, so it makes sense. It's kind of like the boogeyman. Not in a sense people scared of him. Maybe we just don't know what to expect from him, so he can be a boogeyman. It's a little uncertainty. A little uncertainty is not good in the fight game. He is a slight underdog. Nayib is a moderate favorite. From what I got from Nayib, he's very active, 15-0. He's taking these fights. He's 6'3", which is, kind of tall for welterweight. And he smothers his opponent. He ground and pounded the last opponent. Arm bar. KO'd his last opponent for 7 months ago. He's a very active fighter. He fought like 2 months ago, man. Like, he's very active. He's fighting. He fought 4 fights in the last year. So that's to me, that's insane. It looks like he's in his stride right now. Like, he's picking up fights. He's on the big lead. This is the fight that definitely could take him to the next level if he wins this. So next we got Raush, Manfio, and Alex Martinez. So look, Raush is a PFL vet. He got some really good leg kicks, and he's powerful. And then he got power from first round to last round. He had like a third round KO. He lost to the best guy in PFL. So last fight, and it was a decision. It wasn't a bad fight. He knocked out some guys in PFL. Went to decision with some guys. You know, he's 6. This is his 21st professional fight. They're near even. So Raush is plus 120, and Alex Martinez is minus 150. I actually chose the underdog in this, so I think you can win some money on this. It's a little height. It's a little different. The height gonna be a problem. 159, 6 foot. Alex Martinez 6 foot, but the reach is the same. So I think that negates the height. Sometimes if they know how to use the reach, and he does know how to use his reach. So Alex Martinez, he's experienced. He got a few fights. Like, he fought the last 5 fights in the PFL. He got to use his high kicks. So one thing that does concern me, his kicks got to go in tune with his punches, right? Which is cliche, but he don't really got the reach advantage per se. So he got to use like the front kick to kind of keep him at bay, because I don't know their leg reaches, but usually if you're 6 foot and the guy's 5'9", you might have the same reach per arms, but usually you can get some good kicks in there to, like, you know, make it an even playing field. So next we got our last 3 fights of the card. We got Nathan Schulte versus Stevie Ray. So Nathan Schulte, he trains at American Top Team. He's a heavy favorite. He got really, really good jiu-jitsu. Like, he got some, like, I watched him in this fight. He got some good jiu-jitsu. And he's fighting Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray is a UFC vet. In his last couple, like, some of his fights I was watching, he didn't look like he was too active, and that does worry me, because, like, you gotta, like, bring the fight. And then he's a UFC vet. Fought the last 4 fights in the PFL. He went 2-2. So I think I got Nathan Schulte winning. I think he can give him some problems with his jiu-jitsu. Stephen Ray got 4 losses from submission, which is nothing to be mad over. But I think that's the main differentiator between the two, honestly, because Nathan got 10 wins by submission, so, and he's 12-2 in the PFL. He's doing dang gong. If he's not taking the decision, he's tapping you out. So that's why I got him winning. So next, this is a fight I will stay away from. We got Magomedkerimov versus Ben Egli. Ben Egli is 14-4. He looked like he's a regional fighter. It doesn't look like he was in a big, like, the big leagues of fighting up per se. And he's fighting Magomed, who is a killer. That guy is a killer. He's composed. He's fighting out of Dagestan. We know those guys are really good. He's composed. He's long. He got really good kicks. He got the wrestling to negate Ben Egli jiu-jitsu, and I think that's Ben Egli's. I think that's his best asset is his jiu-jitsu. He got high-level grappling. He got 12 wins by submission. That is extremely high level. However, he didn't fight at those, like, the best of the best promotions. So this is one of those this is a big jump in competition. Honestly, I was a little confused with the matchmaking, but I think that's the odds reflected. So Yeah, then the last fight we got on the card, we got Sadibou Sai, and we got Jarrah Al-Silawi. Hey, if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, I sincerely apologize. I will like strive to fix how I pronounce names. My name is a little complicated, and I pronounced my name wrong when I was a kid, and I learned about it when I was a little older. Just a little funny joke. Sadibou, he is very tall. This guy's 6'3". He won the PFL tournament before. So what I noticed in some of the PFL fights, a lot of these guys don't pull the trigger because like you're fighting for like a tournament spot for $1 million. Who wants to lose? And he's one of those guys who fights for that tournament spot. And I'm not talking down about him. I'm just saying he fights a little conservative, which is, I understand. If I was fighting for $1 million, I'd fight conservative too. I don't blame him. He's a guy standing outside, uses distance like he did the last 4 fights. He'd be completely fine. So I don't think he had nothing to worry about too much. It's a close fight, -185 for Sadibou, and then for Al-Silawi, he's +155 underdog. I think that reach and height advantage is going to get to him because you got this 80-inch reach versus 72-inch reach. Those things worry me. He has to get in close. He got to use some leg kicks. He got to possibly try to grapple. But it's hard to get in close because the Swedish Denzel Washington, Sadibou, that's his nickname. He loves keeping people at a distance. He controls the fight with his distance. He's really good at that. So I got him taking the W. PFL 3 is April 14th. So be sure to watch that. We'll keep an eye on my fight predictions. I'm very confident that I will do well. It's on some fights. The fights on here, some close fights. There's also some very big fights. So let me know what you bet on, and if you don't bet, then hey, let's just see who had the good predictions. It's a fun video. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Open Mat MMA.